Good morning. It's day 36 of my Rainbow Diet Challenge. This morning I weigh 144, so a bit up from yesterday. I still have quite a lot of swelling that's coming down. I had a complete day of rest yesterday, so I wasn't as active. And yeah, I'm still recovering from being sick, so my weight is going to fluctuate. I might push the fluids a bit more today and see if that helps. The rainbow diet that I'm trying as an experiment is my attempt to include 5 colors of the rainbow in every meal, in whole, minimally processed plant food. So I'm not counting, say, like the fruit in my fruit bread doesn't count. That's too processed. But, frozen food, tin food, that's okay. And if somebody's cooked something for me and I can distinguish the bits in it that are whole, that's okay. Yeah, so those are sort of the parameters I'm working with. I do think cutting out more processed food is a good idea. So I was thinking today that, okay, say you can grow poppies in your garden and they're beautiful, they're good for the insects, and you can eat the seeds. You can probably eat the flowers too, I imagine. Um, but yeah, they're good and beneficial. But then, someone can take poppies and turn them into heroin. Not even opium, just heroin. And heroin can ruin people. Yeah, because it's addictive and everything else. In small doses, it can be medicinal, but in large doses, or yeah, when your body builds up a tolerance to it. Anyway, heroin, yes. So you go from poppy seeds, opiates that are useful for medicine, to heroin addictions. And I feel like it's a good analogy for what happens in the processed food industry. So in the processed food industry, you may start by tinning, canning, or freezing food, drying food, maybe even salting food to preserve it. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. But then you go into these processes that we actually can't really replicate at home, where we're trying to make things last longer, or we're trying to produce a bliss point of flavor combinations, trying to make things more convenient. And I feel like ultra processed food is like those opiates. So, in small doses when you need it, that's okay. But every day, no. Every meal, certainly not. So the maximally processed food or ultra processed foods, I think I'm starting to view them like they're heroin. These are addictive, they're to be treated with respect and, yeah, used very carefully. So, okay, sometimes you have to eat out. Eating out is one of the joys of life. It's gets you out of the house. It's a social occasion. It's sometimes better than being grumpy at each other if you're really hungry and you've got no options, etc., etc. Okay, that's good. But yeah, not every day, not every meal, and definitely being careful and choosing wisely are keys there. But processed foods in the house too are an issue. So keeping them out of reach, using them minimally, only when needed. The ultra processed foods, I mean, not just any processed food. So this is, I think, helping me reset my thinking. And I think that's a good thing overall, because I do think that there's a lot of evidence now in the literature that ultra processed foods do increase inflammation. And so, with people like me who have multiple chronic illnesses whose system is a bit overactive, um, I think I'm more sensitive to processed foods, ultra processed foods, than maybe other people are. Those people I think of that claim to have been healed by their diets. I think of a friend who did an all raw diet for a couple years, and like all her health ailments went away. And I remember really respecting her for that. One thing, thinking, I don't think I could do that. Like, that is really full on, the raw diet. A lot of people swear by it though. But I think if you think about it, it cuts out ultra processed foods. I have a friend who's done a carnivore diet and swears by it, and is, occasionally sends us links to things. So I could consider a carnivore diet. I haven't ruled it out. It is on my back burner. But again, respect to him for doing that. That is a hard diet to follow. You have to have a certain energy and willpower to follow these extreme diets. And being so sick as I am at the moment, with my fatigue coming in waves and tidal waves sometimes, I can't see me managing that. So, or like not saying no to temptation. Plus, I live in community where beautiful people give me, meals and make things especially for me because they know I'm unwell, and I'm not going to refuse that. So, but anyway, again, carnivore diet, what's the difference there? You really minimize processed foods, don't you? Because you're just eating meat, meat and offal. So, yeah, if I think about people who've done paleo or keto and have had any success on it, um, often they have minimized processed foods. But you can do those diets and not minimize processed foods, is the problem. You can eat protein bars or these stupid ball things that aren't real food as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, sorry if you like those. But anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking cutting out processed food has to help. I do think most things in science take a while. You have to give it time, because you have to see if sometimes you get results that it's not just that they replicate one another, it's that this system has an impact on this system, and there are feedback loops that feed into each other. So this is one of the problems with obesity. Is I don't think obesity, like in my case, I didn't become obese and then have health problems. I had health problems and then became obese. But the obesity feeds into those health problems too. So it does make breathing harder. It does put a strain on certain systems. It does set off epigenetic changes in you that I don't know if you can reverse. They haven't found a way to reverse yet, but maybe the rainbow diet will do it. We'll see. But anyway, I'm hopeful. I'm probably putting too much hope in this way of eating, but I am enjoying it. And one thing that is a positive is it cuts out those ultra processed foods. Anyway, my rant has gotten long. I'll catch up with you at breakfast.